Hey, Russell here, and I just want to go over Latin 2 for Challenge 2. And the catalog will tell you the books that you need. This is Henle Latin year, second year Latin, and then the answer key. You need both of these. This is somewhat optional, but this is really good for the lessons and things like that. So I would recommend it, but you definitely need the book, second year Latin from Henle, and also the grammar book that you've used for the several years before this. So have that, have the book. The trivium table is optional. These are great. I use them fairly often. I actually print my own and have them in my notebook. That's my personal use. This is optional, but a great tool. And then I'm going to actually have, this is not necessarily from the CC website, but it's worksheets from someone who made these for Latin 2, and I think they're excellent. This is my first year that I'll be actually using these. But if you remember from Challenge A, Challenge B, Challenge 1, they had those big workbooks that you could buy. This is not it, but it's similar. It goes through the lessons and then has several pages that you do. Not really each day, but throughout the lesson. So it'll be 5-6 pages of just different things that your student can do. I'm going to do these. I'm going to have Noah do these as an added, as a focus kind of a thing as the weeks progress. So I have this PDF. I will send it to you through an email if I have not already. If for some reason you didn't get it, let me know. But it's Henle second year Latin, like a study guide. The book is divided up into basically two sections. The first section is going to be, we study Caesar, his leadership. We compare it with Jesus and Napoleon and things like that. So when you get into the second year, they're assuming that the student knows how to at least translate and somewhat read Latin. It depends on the student, depends on if you've been tracking through challenge and being able to do that. I find mostly a lot of us really can't read Latin fluently, but we have the skills to be able to do so. So there's a lot of history that you read. Is basically the Gallic Wars and different things. So you learn about that. You learn about Caesar. You learn about his leadership, and you start reading Latin paragraphs. And we do some of that in class. We'll definitely go through the history and things like that. We focus mostly on the lesson. So if you look at your guide, basically not every time, but each lesson you do a lesson per week. And so this is it's the second part of this book. And then the answer key obviously follows what you do. So for example, in class, and I want to talk mainly with this video is I want to say, what do you need? What books do you need? And then what do we actually do in class so you're aware? So in class we do several things. I'll go through and do like a review. A lot of times the review is not only on the lesson for Henle 2, but it'll be Henle lesson 1. We'll go back and review some of the topics that correspond to the second book. So we'll do that. We'll do some vocabulary. I might have index cards. We might do a slap game, different games like that, just to get everybody interested. I do find Latin probably the least favorite for most students because it is hard, and most students are like, why are we learning a dead language? And so each week I'll go through and go through the benefits of studying Latin. The main thing is it slows your brain down and you're able to process information, look at information, and focus on Latin to learn English better. So there's many reasons why we do this. So we do that. I'll do lightning rounds. I have two teams who run to the board and write down the word or the vocabulary or something about that. So that gets the students energized for what's going on. And I also go through everyday phrases. It's not in here, but I'll have everyday phrases. So we speak a little bit of Latin. I'll have a sheet and the students might go around and read and learn how to ask questions or directions or things like that in everyday Latin. And Latin's everywhere, so if your student isn't going to be in the medical field, Latin's everywhere. So it's a good, and if they're going to be studying a different Romantic language, it's good for that too. But there's things I do in class that hopefully get the students involved. I'll go through and I won't play a video, but I'll do like movies, movie quotes, things like that, in everyday culture, and just try to get them to capture their attention. But each week you're going to go through a lesson, you'll go through the workbook or the exercises here. I'll give you an email that shows you what we're going to focus on, and that's pretty much what we do with Latin. So comment below, email me, text me if you have any questions. But that's Henle Chapter 2 or Book 2, the Latin key, the PDF of the study guide, and also the last thing I want to mention is on the CC, the new CC website, you do have all the videos available each week. So when you start going through the weeks, say it's lesson 1, watch the video on the CC website, and the teacher goes through the lesson. They'll do a couple sentences, they'll go through some vocab and kind of show you on the video of how to go through the lesson. So it's a really good resource to have, is the CC website videos. And there's more videos on there than I can even shake a stick at. There's so many things with all the different strands. So I'm still learning the new website and all the resources they have. But for Latin, they have all the Latin videos on there. So you'll have help that way, and then help with me, and then hopefully you as parents are somewhat the lead learners in all this. One of the questions I get a lot of times is, if my student isn't doing Latin for some reason, they're studying a different language, Spanish or whatever, what do you do? I'd at least bring something to the table, at least bring vocabulary and something like that. If not, if the student's learning Spanish, then bring some Spanish, and we'll learn, maybe compare Latin and Spanish. Maybe they'll bring some vocabulary words, so they're going to be engaged in some form or fashion with the English grammar and with the Latin, and just tack on to that their foreign language. So that's it for me. Go to the next video for each of the strands, but hopefully this helps and give you an idea of what Latin 2 is going to be, and a little bit of an insight of what we do in class.